Hello and welcome back. We're still at the European Week of Regions and Cities, and here with me right now is Johanna Lyytikäinen. She's from Finland and she's the City of Espoo's program manager. So, Johanna, you just gave a speech about the Six Cities strategy. Could you please explain what it is?
Yeah, well, it's a common strategy for the 6 largest cities in Finland. What we are basically doing is we are creating smart and sustainable cities, but we are doing it together. We are working closely together, building these kind of things. We are not only increasing collaboration between the cities, we are also increasing collaboration between the cities, the companies, the research, educational institutions, with the citizens.
And could you give me some examples of collaboration?
Well, I think the most important thing in collaboration is really working together on a daily basis. So we are not just sharing ideas, we are working together on a daily basis. So I think the most important projects have been in developing innovation platforms, opening up data, and also thinking about new ways for participation of the citizens.
And what is one of those platforms?
Well, one of those platforms is schools. Within every 6 cities, we have opened up our schools as innovation platforms for companies.
And what do they learn there?
I think the most important lesson learned is that you need to think about the children first. You have to think about the teachers and so on. So in order to have this kind of co-creation going on in the future, you need to have these kind of win-win-win situations where both company with the development needs benefit, but also the children and the teachers and the parents, everything are thought of.
And I guess that, so those are 6 big cities, and I guess that each one has different ideas that they would like maybe to put in practice. Is it easy for them to collaborate?
Well, actually, I think it's really easy at this stage to work with the cities.
Why?
Well, it's easy to collaborate if you have a clear focus and you have similar objectives. And we have been working together 3 years now. So building that trust, really getting to know the people. It's all about the people in these projects too.
And what's the next step?
The next step is that we are still having some open calls for 2 years now. Obviously, we are talking about what happens after 2020. But the discussions are, obviously we want to collaborate in the future as well.
And how do you see the future?
Bright, obviously. We have a network of hundreds of experts these days. I can't see that going anywhere after the project.
So it's in every kind of, so those experts, they are in every kind of fields?
Yeah, in every field, yeah. In healthcare, in education, in construction, in mobility.
And so are some of the projects already in place in some cities?
Yes, we've had almost 50 projects now.
And could you maybe give me an example of one in mobility?
Yes, we have a last mile project going on right now in Espoo, in Helsinki, and in Vantaa. It is trying to solve the last mile issue by using robot buses, thinking about new ways for parking, cycling, so on. So these kind of remote locations become more accessible for the citizen. Also, there's some new markets might emerge, and we also reduce our carbon emissions.
And in your city, in the city of Espoo, what's the biggest project?
The biggest project was about innovation platforms. That's where we developed this kind of collaboration in our schools.
And so you, for example, with how many people do you work on a daily basis?
We have 15 people in Espoo right now working with the 6 Cities strategy.
And do you think that maybe some other countries would like to copy your model?
Yeah, well, we've been talking with other cities in Finland as well. So I think that's the next step. But obviously we are talking with the rest of the Europe as well.
So you would like to collaborate with smaller cities?
Smaller cities, larger cities, yes, all kind of cities.
And do you see some issues that maybe cities in Finland are facing today?
Well, sustainability issues is absolutely one of the most important ones. Youth unemployment is a huge issue. It's not as huge as it is in Southern Europe, but it is an issue. People are aging, that kind of things, social exclusion.
And so how can you help?
Well, what we are doing is we are not only doing these different projects, we are thinking about how cities need to change in order to change things in the future. I think that's the most important thing.
And from your point of view, how should they change? That's very personal, huh? It's really your opinion.
Yes, well, we do have those silos. That's the most important question we need to face, really.
All right, and so during your session, in the audience, did you have some interesting questions?
I think the most interesting one was about this collaboration between the cities and the companies. It's a huge issue because we are creating living labs and innovation platforms. We need to collaborate with the kind of companies that have that specific development need. But it's not easy to find those right kind of companies because we have a long history of the cities and the companies working with only through public procurement. And that's an issue. So companies are constantly selling things to us when we are creating innovation platforms and so on. So it's not easy discussions.
And right now, which ones are your partners?
Partners in what?
Like, so you were telling me that you need to face people trying to sell you things.
Yeah.
And who succeeded in convincing you to use those?
Well, I could tell you about the most successful one. We had an artificial intelligence project with a large ICT company, Tieto, in Espoo. The artificial intelligence analyzed our healthcare and social care data from the past 14 years regarding 500,000 customers, and the AI was able to find certain patterns how the customers end up heavy using our services. There were actually like 280 variables which could predict that a child might taken into custody at some point. So this kind of collaboration.
And so did you put it at use already?
Well, this was actually like one pilot. We were thinking about, can we use data this way? But absolutely we are using the data this way in the future, planning our preventive services.
And usually how long does it take for a project to actually be working?
It depends on the issue. Mobility projects are really easy to run, but in this AI project, for example, we needed to discuss about security issues and these kind of things. We discussed about more than a year about these things before the pilot was able to go on.
And can citizens make suggestions?
Absolutely, yeah. We are not working with the citizens on a strategy level, but we are working with the citizens in every single project, so absolutely.
And do you sometimes receive feedbacks?
Yes, we do.
Another question, because right now cities are getting bigger and bigger. So one of my questions is, how can we humanize cities?
I think it's an important question, but also it's kind of like a funny question because cities are about people. So in the beginning with, the cities are about people. City organizations don't necessarily recognize that like on a daily basis, but we really need to work with the citizens. Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes do you get to travel even outside of Europe to see what's being done, maybe to get some ideas?
I think Europe is our main focus right now.
All right. Do you have anything else you would like to say? For example, what do you take out from this European Week of Regions and Cities?
I think this is really a great event. It's really important to have those discussions between the cities. We have the same challenges, or at least similar challenges, and it's really like arrogant to think that we can solve those kind of issues, huge societal issues, alone.
And did you have a discussion with maybe some other participants here?
Many.
And what
Yeah.
and what do you take out of it? What did you learn here?
Well, the most concrete lesson learned is that we need to communicate better our lessons learned.
And how should we do this?
We just need to like simplify things, maybe. Yeah.
And did it work for your presentation?
Yeah. Yes.
That's very good. So you just told me what you took out from these 3 days. So could you please maybe tell the people who are watching why they should come here?
I think for civil servants and politicians, this is the most important place to be if you want to share ideas with other cities.
Thank you, Johanna. So tomorrow will be the last day of this European Week of Regions and Cities, and we'll be back at 12:15. So please don't miss it. Goodbye.
Okay,
Thank you.